Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the MGM Grand Conference Center. This is boxing. This is Top Rank, presented by Bob Arum. My name is Mark Chinook, and we have weigh-in set right now for tomorrow, Tuesday, June 23rd, inside MGM Grand Conference Center, 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes. It is highlighted by a WBA Super Flyweight title match. It is all coming up right now this afternoon. We're going to get them weighed in. Our first bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the heavyweight division. From South Jordan, Utah, Hellerman, the Dream, Olguin.
All right, we're not going to, well, I'm going to let the weigh-in play in the background, but we're not going to, I'm not going to let the volume play. I'm going to tell you the weights. I'm TstreeT Controversy for FightView360.com. As we're getting back into the swing of things, I've done a video, I got to reshoot the video, because the sound is a little off. I had to readjust things, and I'm sorry the picture quality is a little off, too. So what we're doing is, this weekend, I'm really getting back on the saddle, actually, this week. Tomorrow, Top Rank on ESPN, regular notes on ESPN+. You have Andrew Moloney taking on Joshua Franco, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, for the WBA World Regular title at 115 pounds. That weigh-in is going to be coming up a little later on in the video. We also have my friend and colleague, Big J from Australia, FightView 360 correspondent, on the line, and we're going to be also diving a little deep into the fight. And also over there in Australia right now, it is like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. in the morning or something like that. I don't know what time it is. I'm sorry. Over there. So this week you have the two Moloney brothers fighting. You have Andrew fighting. I'm sorry, I keep getting them mixed up. Andrew, 115 WBA world champion, fighting on Tuesday here in the States. And on Thursday, you have Jason Moloney. But we're going to do another video on that after the weigh-in on that day. But anyway, what we're going to do is, let me start right now. And what we're going to do is bring my colleague Big J in. And the weigh-in is going to play in the background. So what he's going to do is just give you some general information on, the broadcast over there for the guys who are going to be watching this video in the next hour or two when I have it delivered. Right now it's 8:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What time is it over there, Big J?
Yeah, g'day, mate. How you going? It's 10:15 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. So on the East Coast, it's about 9:45. On the West Coast, it'd be about 7:15.
Okay, so it's early in the morning over there. So this card...
Morning, yeah.
So this card, if you look at the bottom of my video, it says 8:16 p.m. I'm just on the outside of Philadelphia. So this card is going to be starting tomorrow this time. The first fight should be starting, and I believe they're going to open up with... let me tell you what the card is first. It's going to be on ESPN Plus here in the States. And, Jay, where's it going to be broadcast over there where you are?
Fox Channel 505. I think it starts about 9 a.m. in the morning, something like that. So
and
that sounds about right. I believe it's not. I believe it starts at 9 a.m. in the morning.
And for those over in the UK, I haven't gotten any information on if it's going to be on BT or anything like that. By the way, this is Christopher Diaz versus, what's his name? Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong card. Hold on. Christopher Diaz versus Jason Sanchez. Remember, Shakur Stevenson had beat Christopher Diaz for that vacant 126-pound title. The card is going to feature Andrew Moloney, of course, versus Joshua Franco. We're going to talk about that a little more in detail. Christopher Diaz versus Jason Sanchez, who just weighed in. Joseph Adorno from Allentown, PA. I was in Allentown at one of the very last, actually, national televised and world televised fights between Gary Russell Jr. and Tug Stute Niambiar. He's from out there. Miguel Contreras versus Rolando Vargas, and Haliman Ugwin versus Adam Stewart. I don't know how many of those fights are going to be broadcast over there on Fox in Australia, but over here in the States, on ESPN Plus, we're going to be able to get them all. So, of course, they're not very high-quality fights. The Andrew Moloney versus Joshua Franco, one good thing about Franco is that he is ranked at 118 super bantamweight, if I'm correct, right? Did you look into that, Jay?
Yeah, Franco is ranked bantamweight. I think he was number 7 at. I think he's number 7 WBC. He's like mid-ranked. He's in the top 10 from I think about 3 or 4 organisations. He's definitely to mid to low top 10 in the bantamweight. So he's dropping down to 115 to take.
Okay,
on,
so yeah, so
Moloney.
he's dropping down. He's dropping from Jason's division down to Andrew's division to face Andrew.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, I thought that we thought it was a bit of a typo when we first saw it.
Correct.
But,
Yeah.
obviously not. Yeah, because we thought, this bloke's a bantamweight contender. Why would he be fighting Andrew for the title? But obviously he is.
Mm-hmm.
So, it'll be a good test for both blokes. I mean, what's Franco's record is 16-1-2. I'll just bring it up.
8
here.
KOs. You may know him. He fought Oscar Negrete twice, and those in the States would be those Facebook cards, from my understanding, and maybe one of them was at the Zone card. He fought him back to back. Both were split decisions.
Yeah, well, he fought him 3 times.
3 times, actually. He said, "Oh, I missed that."
One
He
win. So,
all 3 split decisions, by the way.
3 times, once in 2018, twice last year, and 2 of them were draws, and he got the split win in the second one. So, I believe Oscar, he is fighting Jason on the 25th. Is that correct? No, he's not. I thought he was. Different bloke.
Leonardo Biaz, I think he's on. Negrete's fighting somebody. Let me check real quick. He's fighting somebody because I saw his name pop up for an upcoming fight over on that site. Let's see who it says.
No, nothing. No, he's already fought. That Oscar fella's already fought. Wasn't he supposed to fight Jason?
I think he was.
Yeah, but something went. Yeah, because I think I saw a poster, or you sent me some information about that he was supposed to fight Jason. But anyway, that's not happening anymore. He's already fought and won. Who did he fight?
Well, who are you talking about?
Alberto. How do you pronounce that? Milan?
Jimenez? Wait, Jimenez? Wait, who are you talking about? You talking about?
I'm talking about Oscar
Negrete, yeah.
Yeah, he fought.
He fought Ray. He's fought Ray Vargas. Lost. He's put it this way. He's a credible fighter. He's a credible fighter.
He actually fought a draw against Josh Franco. Split decision draw last year. He's fought Josh Franco twice. That's right. 3 times. Yeah, that's right.
3 times.
Yeah, 3 times. That's anyway. Yeah, back onto Andrew. So Andrew's in his first defence of his title, which we're all jumping up and down about. We're all very excited about it because let me see. Last fight, Andrew fought Elton DeHarry for the interim Super WBA Super Flyweight title. Actually got knocked down in that fight. I think it was in the 4th or 5th round. Got up and won that fight and made Elton DeHarry retire, I think, in the 7th round. I'm just going to have a look just to make sure my information is correct about that. Round 8, sorry. He retired in round 8, so...
Well, let me just break down the 115-pound division really quick. So you have Juan Francisco Estrada, who's considered right now to be the best in the division. You have Chocolatito Gonzalez, who regained a title again after many people, including myself, thought he may have been done, and he did it in a spectacular fashion. You have them two, Estrada and Chocolatito, were on their way to fighting, but then, COVID-19 hit. Now, Andrew has been elevated to world champion. He's no longer the interim champion anymore. He's the world regular champion. And I forgot, excuse me, guys, I'm a little bit, getting back into the swing of things with boxing. I forgot what happened with Mikel Alanyan. I forgot what happened with him. You have Jerwin Cajas, who's a top-ranked fighter also, who is the IBF champion. Number 1 contender, Israel Gonzalez. You have Kazuto Ioka, WBO. So, once again, I've covered all of these guys, but I'm getting back into the swing of things, so excuse me if I'm butchering their names. It's been a while.
Yeah, Israel Gonzalez was supposed to fight Andrew for the title on the 17th of April in Oklahoma, but obviously COVID stopped that. So, yeah, that was another fight that was actually supposed to be Andrew's official first defense, but that didn't happen. But now he's got to face this Joshua Franco fella. So.
And didn't we talk about, like, the path was for him to go on and fight Jerwin and Cajas? I don't remember. By the way, the weigh-in is... Hold on 1 minute. The weigh-in is playing on in the background. And at first, Joshua Franco weighed in at 115.2, but then, he got naked. They put up the banner around him, and he weighed in officially at 115. So go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I remember seeing that. I'm thinking... That banner that they brought in for the fellas, that's brilliant. Why didn't they brought that in years ago instead of like...
Exactly. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I looked at that
and I thought, that is an absolute... Because they could use that for the girls as well, to give them somewhat some dignity. I remember a very bad weigh-in at a UFC fight where the poor girl had to, get a towel and she was fiddling around and trying not to... expose herself, and at the end she just said bugger it and just walked all fake naked. So, but I mean that's a brilliant. What did they think of that years ago?
I don't know. They could have been did fucking towel, wasting all that time, having a nice little banner.
I remember one bloke used a friggin' fucking NFL jersey to bloody cover up his bitch so he could weigh in. I'm like, seriously? You gotta give these fighters some fucking dignity, Christ.
One thing about I'm noticing about Joshua Franco is that, well, what I'm going to say is you in this day and age, you don't want to count anybody out. I mean, look what happened to Joshua Greer last week.
Yeah, no. Anyone. The thing about boxing is that you'll back me up on this, is that every fight is 50-50 regardless of who's in the friggin' ring, because it only takes one punch to knock someone out.
Yeah.
And that's been proven time and time again. I thought Joshua Greer was going to have an easy fight against Old Mate, and Old Mate kicked the shit out of him.
Yeah.
So, and that's just his fight against Jason is done. That won't happen now. So someone else will take his spot. And
yeah. By the way, guys, we're going to talk about that fight, Jason's fight, after the weigh-in. So here's the top ring schedule for the week right now. I mean, they're the only boxing show in town. So of course, hold on, wait, let me get back to it. Tomorrow. Tuesday, the 23rd, you're going to have Andrew Moloney, Jason Franco. The 25th, you're going to have Jason Moloney, Leonardo Diaz, Avery Sparrow versus Abraham Nova, Luis Perozzo versus Orlando Gonzalez, Sonny Canto versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. Then June the 27th, you have the return of 130-pound WBC champion Miguel Burchell versus Elizar Valenzuela. Omar, basically, it's a Hispanic card, also down in Mexico. So it's very busy. Then also on Saturday, you have UFC as well with Dustin Poirier versus Dan Hooker. So it's a very, very busy week in combat sports. And both of the Maloneys under the Top Ring banner, they are expected to shine. I mean, after all, it should be, a dream come true for two Australian boxers to be headlining, ESPN and ESPN Plus here in the States. In fact, looking on the ESPN schedule, they're on regular ESPN, not just, you can watch it on ESPN Plus, but they're on regular prime time ESPN here in the States.
Yeah, they're going real great guns. You know, one thing I find funny about the weigh-ins, when they announced Jason, they said from Kingscliff, Australia. Why don't they put the state in there? Because Australia's a massive friggin' country. Kingscliff's in New South Wales.
Well, the same reason why I probably would do it.
State, or they just don't know the states?
They don't know. What do you mean? I don't know it. So I don't know the announcer. Mark Chinook. He probably don't know.
He would have been handed the script and just said, "Yeah, mate, just read this."
Yeah.
There's been a lot of articles and stuff in support of Andrew. I'm actually quite pleasantly surprised just how much support Australian boxing is getting behind these guys now, because normally Australian boxing is a double-edged sword. You either stay at home and starve and don't make any money, right, or you go overseas and no one knows what you're up to. But it's very positive to see that a lot of guys are getting behind the Moloney twins, and there's a lot of articles and a lot of publications being written about these guys. And, Foxtel's jumped on board to air the fights live, which is only your normal subscription. It's not a pay-per-view buy. So that's going great guns for these guys. And I have no doubt that these two are going to take over the friggin', take over. They're going to be the new thing for Australian boxing. So,
oh yeah, I was going to say for Australian boxing. I can't say they're going to take over the division, but we going to wait to talk about that, because right now the way it's looking at 115, that shit is packed. It's top heavy. So, let's see. Like, Andrew's got to shine tomorrow, and if he don't, we got to call that shit like it is,
Yeah, definitely. The thing is, if he doesn't put on a blistering performance tomorrow, and God forbid he loses, Australians will just drop him. It's like, oh, well, okay, he was a flash in the pan. They'll just drop him like a bad habit. It's like,
let's just hope he shines tomorrow. And then, they can see, and start moving maybe towards that Israel Gonzalez fight, who's a very credible opponent. I as far as another step up, I've watched him before. And then after that, you got to see what's going on with Jerin and Kajas. Now, one thing about Andrew Moloney's belt is he can't unify that belt with Jerin and Kajas, because Chocolatito is the WBA Super World and Moloney is the WBA Regular World, and Kajas is the IBF. You can't unify those, so he would have to drop that world and fight in Kajas. But one great thing about 115 is they can all fight each other. I forgot who the WBO champion in Kazuto Ioka's promotional team is, but between Estrada and Chocolatito, they're both under Matchroom Eddie Hearn. Jerin and Kajas, Andrew Moloney, they're under Top Rank Carlos Quadras. From my understanding, he's under Top Rank as well. Charlie Edwards, did he go to BT Sport? I believe he did. So basically, and they work heavily with Top Rank. It's a division that can have an undisputed champion if these guys can still maintain their weight, and if it's one of these fighters that actually wants to do so. Those belts can be around one waist within 2 years if a fighter really wants it.
Well, if history serves me correctly, the first guy to unify the super flyweight division was now I've forgotten his name, Victor Chinian, who's a Miriam fighter who based himself out of Australia, still lives in Australia. Mm-hmm. So hopefully Andrew can be the next guy to do that. Victor Chinian was a beast at super flyweight.
Yeah, until he ran into Dodare and all. Yeah, but let him have his shine.
Yeah, well, he really does need both the boys, both Jason and Andrew, need to put on statement performances in their fights. They can't just win by a little bit. They really need to either Andrew's knockout rate is like 80% or something. He's like 21-0 with about 18 KOs. Let me just bring it up. Hang on my phone.
14.
14. I thought he was higher than that.
Yeah, 66%, almost 67.
66%. 60. Well, that's still pretty good. I mean, he retired Elton to Harry. I think his last two fights before that were KO victory. Let me just have a look here. Let me see. His last three fights before Elton to Harry were all TKO victories. So against Miguel, I can't pronounce half these guys' names. Similan Lanis.
Man, nobody cares. All right, nobody give a hell about that name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Solid. Let me see if I can do it. Salamini. I can't. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. We pronounced your name wrong. Apologies.
Yeah.
Miguel Gonzalez, TKO, and Luis Concepcion.
Yeah, he's
Concepcion.
Luis Concepcion.
Concepcion. TKO against him, and then he had a couple of UDs, but no. This is Andrew's. This is both the Moloney twins. As I said, I've been saying for a long time, the Moloney brothers are Australians' version of the Charlo brothers. So, the Charlos are pretty good at what they do. The Moloney's are going to be just as good.
We're gonna see, but they, they don't got. We're gonna see. But what's your closing? What's your closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. I think Andrew will do it inside the distance, even though this Josh Franco guy is going to be a formidable opponent. I'm glad that they've actually got someone that it was highly ranked in the division above, so it's a real test for Andrew, but I think he'll do him inside the time. I mean, what is it, 12-round bout? I think he'll get him in probably 8 or 9 rounds.
Yeah.
But he's got to keep his defence up. He does lead with his chin sometimes, but I think he'll do it and do it well. But he really needs to make a statement tomorrow and really claim that he's worthy of that title.
Yeah.
That's it's his absolute chance to prove his worth and his chance to shine and go. Yep, this is what Andrew Moloney's made of, and I have every confidence that he'll be able to do it. So.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to be doing 2 more videos this week. We're going to do one around this time, after Jason's weigh-in, and then we're going to do another this weekend after both fighters have fought, and then just, talk about what's going to be next for both fighters, and other Australian boxers like Mick Zarafa, what's going on possibly with Dennis Hogan. Can't wait to get into that. Anthony Mundine and what else?
Horn v. Zoo's going to have a new date announced shortly. So
okay,
looking about August, September for that fight, which I'm actually pretty happy about. It's going to be a logistical cluster because the Australian borders are still closed, so I don't see how international people are going to be able to come here to broadcast the fight, but we'll let the Australian government worry about that. We've had a few spikes in the coronavirus, and the state borders are starting to close again. So it's we thought we were in the clear, but obviously we are not.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we've had 40 cases in the last 2 days, so that's bad for this country. But still, we're just going to have to continue to play the waiting game. But international border's still closed, so maybe they might open in August in time for the Horn Zoo fight. Who knows? Hopefully.
All right. Well, this is TstreeT Controversy and Big J with FightView360.com. We'll see you guys in a couple of days and expect more from us in the future. Please subscribe.